I think as Caribbean blacks, I think we need to come out of Black American folks' business. I mean, seriously, I mean this. Like, I stand on it. I'm going to keep standing on it. I think that Jamaican blacks, Haitian blacks, Caribbean blacks, I think we need to stop celebrating their holidays because we have our own holidays like Labor Day Parade. I think we need to stop dating their women. I think we need to stop buying from their stores, stop spending our money on their stuff and spend money on us. I think Caribbean blacks, we need to hold ourselves accountable here in America and create industry and businesses and, things that's going to benefit Jamaican blacks and Jamaican blacks exclusively. Instead of trying to, as FBA or Black Americans say, us cosplaying them, even though they cosplay us too. Right? There's been plenty of Black Americans that will put on fake dreadlocks and mock our accents and call us banana boats and coconut music, right? Which are very racial slurs or terms towards Jamaican blacks, right? Jamaican blacks like to say how, Caribbean blacks, we call them acatas and say they have no culture. Meanwhile, they'll make fun of our culture. They call us jerk chicken niggas, oxtail eating niggas, foreign blacks. We are not really black. We what they say? We exotic black. We not really black. All kind of shit, right? So I think Caribbean blacks, because we were never really accepted into Black American culture since the 70s, 60s, 80s, and 90s. I think we should have never tried to integrate with them because we were not accepted. In general, as a collective group, Black Americans never accepted Jamaican blacks like that. So, I think the biggest mistake we made on our part was, where the mistake happened was during the 90s, because during the 90s was this whole pro-black, we all the same thing and this and the third. But, even with that, right, they still didn't like us. So, I think with Caribbean blacks, I think it's time we truly separated from Black Americans and stand on our own. You know what I'm saying? Because look how hostile they are to us today. The same hostility they are towards us today in social media, it happened during the 80s and the 90s. It's just that during the 80s and the 90s, it's hard to prove because there was no camera, there was no social media to document and record Black Americans calling us coconut music or banana boats, right? The only way you could probably watch that series, Luke Cage, right? If you watch the season 2 of Luke Cage, it talks about what, some of the beefs that Black Americans and Caribbean blacks have gone through with each other, right? And it talks about some of the things that Black Americans or how Black Americans view Caribbean blacks like that. You feel me? So, I think it's time that Caribbean blacks just leave Black American shit alone. Right? Create our own stuff here in America, like every other group does. Like the Jews do, like the Asians do. Create our own things, create our own communities, create our own businesses, and, stick to us. You know what I'm saying?
If you're in an FBA or ADOS cult, you can do more with your time than having genealogical pissing contests. Y'all are right-wing Black folks who have nothing because your history is actively being stripped from you. And your identity is wrapped into who your ancestors used to be, but not who you are. What do you have? What do you own? Please point me to the nearest FBA or ADOS hospice. Please point me to the nearest ADOS or FBA chain of grocery stores. Don't have that, huh? Are you housing our folk? Do y'all have ADOS, FBA farmland, condominium, apartment complex, a tent, something? Your divisiveness is your short-sightedness because this Black American understands that Pan-Africanism is what's going to get us liberated and free. Knowing that Malcolm X had Caribbean roots, Marcus Garvey had immigrant roots, W.E.B. Du Bois was buried in Ghana, and whether from Kwame Ture to Assata Shakur, the Black radical tradition always stood behind the Black diaspora as a whole. And that red and black flag that a lot of y'all like to wear in your profile, not you because you're probably a bot. My great uncle, Robert Bobby Stewart from Elizabeth, New Jersey, made the prototype for that. Genealogy,
There is no group of people in America who are owed more than Black people and have gotten less. There's not one group. We've spent the last few years talking about Latinos who have now passed Black people as a voting bloc and an economic bloc. Yep. We now talk only about immigrants coming from other countries.
Yep.
We speak about Jews and Muslims, frankly, more than American-born black people.
Yep.
They know that the conversation has moved on from them. Mamdani is talking about immigrants more than black people.
Yeah.
They know that. They're not stupid. They're well aware that the Democratic Party's kind of moved on a little bit from black people.
Yeah.
They get it.
Uh-huh.
They get it.
Yeah, some of
They're
us.
going, we pick up what you're putting down. So I think Cuomo to them has name recognition, and they understand that this is going in the direction that doesn't include them. The Democrats are building a coalition that doesn't include black people.
Black Americans, have y'all noticed something? How we getting attacked by all these immigrant groups here in America? We getting attacked by the Mexicans. We getting attacked by the Africans. We getting attacked by the Caribbeans. We getting attacked by the Venezuelans. We getting attacked by all these, and even the Indians now coming at us sideways. Now that's crazy. Even the Indians coming at sideways. But what's funny, we tried to be allied to these people for decades on this land. For decades on this land. Now, we've been trying to tell them, like, listen, y'all trying to get close to whiteness. Them people don't like y'all. They gonna turn on y'all. Oh, shut up. You don't know no better. You work hard. You don't work hard. We work hard. They want us because we work hard. Now they getting a wake-up call. And guess what they doing? They running to black Americans for help. Hey, I thought we was brothers. What about the black and brown community? Hey, brother, me and you are African. Me and you are African. You my brother. You supposed to stand with us. That's what they doing now. It's a reason why them Africans keep telling us lately that we African. And reason why they saying that because they want to crowbar their way into black American society so they can be protected. No. At the beginning, y'all say we ain't African. Y'all say we ain't had no culture. Y'all say all these disparaging things. Now Trump getting some act right. Trump sending y'all back. Even the Haitians was very disrespectful to us on this app. Now, I met some cool Haitians in my life, and I'm sad to see some of my Haitian partners got to go back to Haiti. But Trump did say it's safe out there for y'all to go back. But I will fight for my friends in Haiti. That's Haitians. I'm going to try to, let them come over here or something and hang out, and my Jamaican friends too, because I don't have no problem with Jamaicans too much, except on this app. But anyway, it's just mighty strange how disrespectful y'all have been to. Y'all disrespected our culture. Y'all disrespected our icons. Y'all disrespected our ancestors. Y'all disrespected our music. Y'all did all these things to us, and now y'all want us to help. My thing is, why y'all don't talk to the YT people? Those the ones that are deporting y'all. Those the ones that want y'all out of here. Why y'all not fighting towards them? Why y'all not focusing y'all attention on them? A Haitian should not come in my inbox cussing me out, talking about what I'm going to do when my family got to leave by September the 2nd. Why are you talking to me? Talk to your representative out there where you stay at. Don't message me about what's going on. It's crazy because we've been telling y'all about these people, and y'all do not want to fight back. Y'all don't want to fight back. Y'all want to mess with us. Nah, we ain't doing that. We're going to see how y'all can stand on y'all own 10 toes. That's for all those groups. Now, if I'm cool with you, I'm going to fight for you. But collectively, I'm not fighting for y'all. And that's just keeping it real. And a lot of my FBA people disagree with me on that, but I live a real life. I have Hispanic friends. I have African friends. I'm cool with Haitian friends. I'm cool with all these people. But yeah, but anyway, y'all fight for yourself and hold y'all on this.
You know what's crazy is listening to somebody, and this man said that he is a Caribbean black. Now, I want people to understand. Now, for me, maybe it might be a little bit different. I didn't grow up in a New York, Florida, California, wherever Caribbeans just are a main focal point, right? But being born and raised in Detroit, I really did not. We have a little bit of a variety of some people, there. At no point in time did I ever happen to see or get the feel that there was any type of tension between Caribbeans or Black Americans. Right? At no point in time when I was in school or just even out and about, I never heard anybody try to use any type of terminology negatively talking about, Caribbeans or whatnot, whatever. The only things that I would ever hear from friends and families that, that Caribbean spot, the Caribbean food is pretty good. They got, the different celebrations and stuff like that. It looks fun and, all of that type of stuff. Nothing that would be deemed derogatory. That would be deemed a negative. And so for me, again, with the little bit of experience that I have, right, it seems a little bit interesting to me that you now have Caribbean folks talking about like, oh, we need to start separating ourselves from, Black Americans and, just really do for self and build for self and support ourselves and this, that, and the third and whatnot or whatever. And I'm trying to figure out, like, do they really think that they're saying something right now? Because for the longest time possible, again, Black Americans have been there to support other people's businesses. So much so that Black people would actually support other people's businesses than actually go through and fully support 100% a Black-owned business. Some people might pull up to disagree, but I'm just going to list that you have a lot of Black businesses out here that are asking for Black people to support them. And you have a lot of Black people, Black Americans, that will turn around and say that, oh, I'm not going to just support a Black business just because it's a Black business. Do you have good service? Do you have this? Do you have that? Like, I'm not going to do this and that. Right? You even heard some Black celebrities say that. But at the same time, all of those people that want to talk that way are supporting white businesses and all these other types of businesses, and they're not putting stipulations on their support. They give so much grace and, so much niceties. They just rain in money directly on people. Even if they make a mistake, it's like, oh, it's all right, just, whatnot or whatever. Everybody makes mistakes. If you're Black and you make that same mistake at your Black business, oh, it's done. They're crossing you directly off the list. That's how a lot of Black people are. Like I said, it's crazy. We're harder on our own people versus the reverse. Right? Versus being like that on other people. Crazy work. It's diabolical in nature, but it is what it is. But also going back to him, at the same time, right? I've never got the sense that there was tension. Now we're living in a timeline where everything is filmed. Now we're living in a timeline where people, the actual voices, the ones who are African, Caribbean, whatnot, whatever, they're posting, putting themselves online, saying a whole bunch of nonsense, saying stuff that they don't got no business saying. So, right, going back to what the other guys stated, where he was like, oh, all of these things were going on, especially during the 90s, where the Caribbeans had to go through so much, and we were getting called this, that, and the third, and all these other, right, the tiny violin type of thing. And he wanted to say that there was so much of this going on, it just wasn't getting filmed. Really? Really, it was just so much of this going on. Where? What specific areas? Because you're not talking about all over the United States. You're probably talking about some here and there stories. And you're not talking about the totality of the story, where more than likely, there were more things involved on why it is that people were having certain things said directly to them. This is sort of sounding like when white people want to say that Black people are being racist towards them and saying this, that, and the third, but the white person that is telling the story doesn't want to specifically tell you the beginning of the story on how it is that they initially started off racist, started off saying some stuff that they didn't have no business saying, opening their mouth and deciding, not to just keep whatever was the thought on the inside, right? I feel like it's that exact same thing. And then going to the whole effect of the name calling. Again, like I stated in a previous video, in Black America, there's all types of jabs, name calling, and this, that, and the third amongst Black Americans. So I'm not sure why you feel as though that you would be directly left out of this. You either get with it or you move directly out the way. That's normally how it works. You don't just, oh, I'm about to go online and just start crying about this, that, and the third, what happened to me when I was like 12. That's crazy. That doesn't even make any type of sense. Did you say a joke back? Did you say something? Did you give a jab somewhere? No, you didn't. You just let it be whatever. And now some decades, whatever later, you want to come online and start crying and complaining about it. And now you want to say that because of, the name calling, this is why you guys need to separate from black Americans, because of everything that's going on. You need to separate from black Americans. No, like I said, you guys have done a very great job of, cosplaying, of coming directly into America and dressing as and talking as black Americans, eating directly off of the tables, off of the plates, consuming the culture and the dress and everything like that, and, cutting something out for yourselves and making sure to be directly for yourself. You're making it seem as though you don't have your own businesses. You're making it seem like you don't have your own neighborhoods. You're making it seem like y'all don't have a certain type of clothing or whatnot. Like, this is so this is so crazy to me. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But let me just put it in a way that other people have stated, right? If you clearly want to separate from black Americans, then maybe you should actually leave America, right? If you wanted to be separated and be who it is that you are in your full totality, then you would have made sure to do that as soon as you came here. But you opted not to do that because it's much easier to, in a sense, dress up and to masquerade as somebody else so that you don't stick out like a sore thumb, right? It's a lot easier to do that. But mind you, y'all are the same people that try to encroach on a lot of black things, such as Black American holidays. We have just so few holidays out here, and for some odd reason, everybody wants to come directly through, and they want to, take a little piece. Every other immigrant that has been directly here, such as the Asians, the Arabs, the Latins, the white Europeans, the Cubans, African, whoever, right? Anybody who comes here have made sure to make their little towns, right? You got the Chinatown, you got what you would call like the African villa or Mexican town, whatever it is, right? They got a little spot somewhere in the United States in a lot of these big cities that are specifically them. How is it possible that just now you're thinking that, we should start doing this? Just say that you mad that black Americans ain't helping y'all out with ICE. Just say that. Just say that. Just say that you're mad that we're not out here trying to protect, that we're not out here marching, that we're not out here protesting, that we're not trying to call our local congressman and this, that, and the third, and we're not talking really on social media, and we're not advocating and this, just say that. It would be a lot better. Like I said, I really wish that people would just have an honest conversation instead of beating around the bush. And again, if you feel that you want to separate from black Americans, do it in a full totality. Do it in its 100% fullness and separate yourself from America, because we are America. We are in the fabric. We are woven directly into it. It is inescapable. Shout out to Thanos. It is inevitable. So, like I said, I don't know what else to sit up there and tell you, because again, the reason that you can call America home is because black Americans made it home. So again, for those out there that don't want to acknowledge, it is what it is. For those of you that don't want to look at history, it is what it is. No matter how far you want to escape it, we will always be there. From the beginning to the end of time. Irregardless on how it is that y'all want to try to rewrite history and say that, y'all were actually the ones to do this first and that first and all this other. Like I said before, y'all better start getting with the program. To make it easier for a lot of people to make y'all understand it, if all of y'all would have just supported black Americans 100% from the very beginning, everything would have been fine for the rest of y'all. Because you guys decided that you didn't want to sit up there and support us, this is why everything that you've built so far is going to ruin. See how that works? See how the main people that y'all said were the utmost unimportant seem to be the most important people in the room? It's crazy how that works. Crazy how all of the immigrants out here that's talking this, that, and the third about black Americans aren't coming together to fight the power, right? It's amazing how y'all not doing that. It's amazing how y'all scared to do that, because oddly enough, I guess you need us to be at the front in order for you guys to be brave enough to actually stand up straight and face the light. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.